So, you want to become fluent in English? Well, it's about more than just memorizing words. You have to actually train your brain to think in English. And today, we're going to dive into a really simple, practical way to get you there.
First, let me ask you something. You know that feeling, right? That frustrating pause when you're trying to speak and your brain just feels like it's buffering. It's like it's trying to load the next sentence. If that sounds familiar, you are probably stuck in what I call the translation trap. See, it's this habit of thinking in your native language first and then mentally translating it into English. It's totally normal, but it's also the main thing that's slowing you down.
So how do we get out of this trap? Well, here's the plan. We're going to look at a simple framework, then break it down into two key phases: absorbing English and then using English. And you'll definitely want to stick around to the end, because I'm going to give you one simple thing you can do today.
Okay, so the key to breaking free from that translation trap is something I call the sponge method. It's a really simple but honestly a powerful way to think about how you learn, and it's going to help you build that natural fluency.
So here's the big idea. Just treat your brain like a sponge. First, you have to soak up all the English you can. That's your input. Then, once that sponge is full, you can naturally squeeze all that English back out. That's your output.
And it really just comes down to these two simple phases: absorb and apply. Think about it. You can't squeeze water from a dry sponge, right? A lot of learners try to speak without getting enough input first, and that's exactly why they get stuck. To be truly fluent, you have to master both.
All right, let's start with phase 1, absorb. This is all about how to fill up your sponge, just soaking up the language around you without any pressure to be perfect.
You know, the absolute best way to do this is to just weave English into your daily life. It shouldn't feel like work. Watch the shows you already love. Just switch the audio to English. Listen to your favorite songs, your favorite podcasts. The real goal here is to make it fun.
And when you do this enough, something kind of magical happens. You'll find words and phrases just getting stuck in your head, like a catchy song you can't stop humming. We call these earworms, and they're an amazing sign that you're really absorbing the language.
Okay, here's another technique that is so simple, but wow, is it effective for this first phase. It's all about training your brain to connect objects directly to their English names.
The mantra is just this: you see it, you name it. So when you look at your desk, your brain should immediately go to desk, not the word for it in your native language. This one little habit starts to break that translation cycle right at the source. You can even put little sticky notes on things around your house.
Okay, so your sponge is starting to get nice and full with all this English input. So now, it's time for phase 2. This is the part so many people skip: actually using the language. It's time to squeeze the sponge. And look, you do not have to start with some big, perfect speech. The whole key is to start with tiny, simple sentences about what's right in front of you. Don't worry about being complex, just be real.
A little morning routine is the perfect way to do this. Just saying 5 small sentences out loud. Things like, "This is my mug," or "The sun is bright." Doing that every single day builds your confidence and makes speaking English feel like a totally normal part of your routine.
Here's another great one. Just become the narrator of your own life. Seriously, talk to yourself out loud, in your head, whatever works. Okay, where are my keys? All right, I need to focus now. This builds that inner voice in English, and that's the foundation for really thinking in English.
Now, for a really powerful technique, one that professional interpreters use, it's called shadowing. The idea is simple. You listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say almost instantly, like you're their echo. You don't even wait for them to finish the sentence. And I love this way of thinking about it. You're not just copying words. You are stealing the music of English. You're actually learning the rhythm, the intonation, the melody of how people really speak. It trains your mouth and your brain to work together automatically.
So, what's the one thing that ties all of this together? It's super simple: repetition. Doing something once is great, but doing it 5 times, 10 times, 50 times, that's what really builds fluency. It literally carves those pathways in your brain until it becomes automatic.
I know, repetition can sound kind of boring, but please don't think of it that way. Repetition is your superpower here. Every single time you repeat a phrase, you're making those brain connections stronger, so your recall gets faster, smoother, and way more natural.
All right, we've covered the whole sponge method, from filling it up to squeezing it out. So let's bring it all home. Let's talk about one single actionable step you can take the second this is over. But first, I really want you to remember this. Getting fluent is not a race to some finish line. It's all about building a daily rhythm. Real progress comes from those small, consistent things you do every day, not from trying to be perfect overnight.
So here it is. Here's your mission. Don't try to do everything at once. I want you to choose just one thing we talked about today. Maybe it's labeling 5 things in your room, or shadowing a 10-second video clip, or just saying one tiny sentence out loud. The only question is, what is the one thing you will do right now to start thinking in English?